Morning, Leon. In terms of looking at last night and throwing it forward now, how much do you feel the team need to start getting back more to the standards, say, of last season? And do you feel you've fallen below them, or is it a case of just it's early in the season?
I think we have to be honest with that. If you look at our recent performances, it was not, I think, the face that we wanted to show, and it needs improvement. I think it was clear or it is clear for everyone to see. There's no need to sugarcoat that. But that's the challenge at the moment for us. That's what we need to focus on. And the good thing is that there's a game coming around the corner straight away on Sunday, and that's the next chance for us to get back to them old ways or to the standards that you just mentioned.
I mean, Rangers had a great season. Do you think you're a victim of your own success, or it's just a case of it will come in time, people have to be patient, maybe the expectations are too high?
Oh, that's a good question. I think if we knew exactly the reason why, then probably would have just turned it off like that. Again, there lays the challenge, but we need to face it. There's no point of hiding from that, and also the criticism that might come up with it. We have to face it, and just make sure that we get good performances in again, get our standards up to the level. I think the expectation after the last season, I think there's a reason why it's there. If you did what we did last season, I think it's normal. It's about dealing with that. But at the same time, not putting too much pressure on ourselves. At the end of the day, we should know what we're capable of and work on that, get that confidence back. And as I said again, Sunday is the next best opportunity to make a step towards that direction, towards that goal.
The big positives of last night was a reaction in the second half and the spirit and determination that the players showed. Is that something that you can all take moving forward and try and replicate going into the next games?
Have to. I don't think there's too much I can say about that. You're absolutely right. The second half definitely was an improvement. It was a reaction, and at the same time, it's something that we have to use because we showed ourselves and everyone else as well that we can play like people want us to play, how we want to play first and foremost, and it's probably about just finding that consistency in our games, because I think it's fair to say that we haven't put up a 90-minute performance yet, and that's what we owe ourselves, but also the supporters.
In terms of your own position and coming back into the team, how much are you enjoying playing with Connor Goldson and Philip Hollander and the challenges of trying to be a regular in the Rangers team?
I think competition is always great. I said that last year when I came in, and I think it's actually worked out quite well. It's always nice to play with Connor because we have a good understanding of each other. I actually haven't played with Phil yet, but I think it would be very much the same. And that competition, just also with Jack Simpson, that we haven't mentioned him, it just keeps us on top of each other, and it makes us better actually, and helps us to keep pushing, because you can't just settle down because there might be one bad performance and you're out. So definitely that keeps all four of us on our toes.
And the manager said last night, I mean, he didn't mince his words, and he says, it's up to the dressing room now to sort it out. As a collective, do you then discuss amongst players to say, right, what's not working and what needs to be fixed?
Well, one thing I've always been told, you don't speak about what's happening in the dressing room, but I think it's clear that we need to sort things out. You can see that on the pitch. We spoke about the performances so far this season, and we definitely need to step up and raise our levels. And we need to do whatever needs to be done in order to make that happen.
Last season, the team showed a lot of urgency. They were very good. This season, that pace and quickness doesn't seem to be there. If that's the case, is that a concern with about 6 games played this season?
Oh, it's something, as I said before, we have to work on, because I said I don't think there's a complete lack of that, because we've had that in games, but not over 90 minutes. So it's one thing is a question of consistency, and the other thing probably a thing of focus as well. But it's fair to say that there's a lack of that at the moment, yes. And as I said before, that needs to be turned around.
Why is there a lack of that at the moment?
I said it before. I couldn't pin, that's the challenge. That's what we have to figure out. That's what we have to sort out. One of your, is that what, predecessors? He asked me the same question pretty much before. I cannot tell you it's this reason, that reason, that reason. That what needs figuring out ASAP. And then again, Sunday is the next best opportunity to make a point in that and actually show that to the supporters. And as I said before, first and foremost to ourselves, because I think we owe it to not just to us, but also to the supporters.
Morning, Leon.
Morning.
Ross County tend to be more adventurous at home than they are away. You know, they tend to be, very defensive minded when they go away from home. So with that in mind, and the fact that Rangers have kind of struggled a bit in the last few games to break down teams, have you been working on, the set plays that you're obviously going to get the opportunities to take up there? Has that become an extra focus, and that the team's looking to wheedle their way past teams?
Well, set plays are always a thing that we work on, regardless of the circumstances. So we're always working on that. And I think just because we're struggling, we should not start to doubt ourselves too much, because, as I said, it's on us to turn things around. And we have shown in games that we can bring that urgency, that intensity to games. But it's on us. For me personally, that's the biggest thing. We need to put up a performance over 90 minutes, and I think if we do that, then that also probably brings back more confidence back into the team, because at the moment we've not been performing at our levels. And as I said, as soon as we get there, or the earlier we get there, the sooner we will probably come close to what everybody expects us to do.